Well guys, it looks like Nella Rose has really shot herself in the foot with her outburst and argument with Fred on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here last night, because everyone is talking about it and not necessarily in a good way.
But for many people, the big story last night was Nella Rose. What is happening with her?
Well, Nella Rose, I know, a real firm favourite to begin with, but now she's sort of divided the nation. She was obviously struggling with the trial last night with only 3 stars. She was almost electrocuted and covered in critters, so I'm sure anyone would struggle. But it was the clash with FRED SIRIEIX that has left them poles apart in the camp.
And I thought Nella would have been well aware of how these things can look. You know, she's a YouTuber. She understands how when you make a YouTube video, if you say stuff people don't like, they come for you, they can troll you, they can leave endless nasty comments on your videos. I sound like someone speaking from experience. Yeah, But I feel like she would have known that, so she'll know how this argument will look to the British public. So I really feel like it's a bit of a silly move, because I'm concerned now that because she's done this, she's made herself a target to be kicked out of the camp.
And Nella was a fan favourite before last night. You know, she's great fun. She's so entertaining. She's a real trooper for doing the trials. But FRED SIRIEIX didn't seem to intend to insult her, to hurt her. You know, saying I'm old enough to be your dad is it's like a figure of speech, isn't it? He just didn't realise how close to the surface that was for her.
Yeah, her feelings obviously very close to the surface. It was evident with the clash last night. I'd like to give Nella the benefit of the doubt, given the fact, of course, that it's basically the Hunger Games at the moment. They are all suffering.
Of course, Nella Rose does have her defenders. In fact, Love Island's India Pollack, was on Lorraine this morning trying to defend Nella in some sort of way.
You called this, didn't you? Because you said, even before all this kicked off, you said if she's going to fall out with anybody in there, it's going to be Fred. Why do you think that?
I just feel like, from first impressions, Fred has such a big personality, and it could maybe come across sometimes a little bit like bossy, and Nella has such a big personality herself, so I could just see the two of them clashing over something.
Right.
I didn't expect it to be this, but from what I know of Nella, she's a very bright, bubbly person. Like, she wears her heart on her sleeve, she speaks her mind. I don't think Fred had any malicious intent.
No, absolutely.
But again, none of us are Nella. We're not in a sweaty jungle. We're not getting bitten by green ants eating rice and beans.
Right.
So I feel like, you know, in that environment, it's very easy for things to be blown out or taken the wrong way. I do hope they can get over it. I feel like it was probably just, you know, they'll talk about it, maybe have a couple days rest, and they'll be back, you know.
But to add insult to injury, Lorraine then announced they'd done a poll, and we all know that the polls they do on Lorraine are incredibly accurate, and we can basically steer the course of our lives according to a poll on Lorraine. But this one was pretty damning and unsurprising.
Oh, as we do. Just finding out, you know, what did you think? Did you think Nella was right? Did you think Fred was right? I've never known a poll like this, Mike. 3% only India said that they thought Nella was right. 97% said Team Fred. So just...
That's crazy.
It just shows you, it really does.
I think what's baffling most viewers of the show is we're not entirely sure why Nella Rose was so upset with what Fred said. Fred saying I'm old enough to be your dad doesn't seem like a particularly offensive thing to say. Now, I know Nella said that she'd confided in Fred that her parents had passed away only a few short years ago, so maybe she felt that he was weaponizing that when he said that comment, but I really don't think he was. The way he said it seemed perfectly innocent to me. And he's right, he is old enough to be her father. He's 51, she's 26. Had he had children aged 25, he would be old enough to be her father. So it's not like a silly, weird, just a comment. And even Fred's fiancée has come out this morning. There's a picture of them on the screen. This is the woman that he referred to last night in the show as Fruitcake, and I thought that was some weird joke, but apparently no, she's affectionately known as Fruitcake. So she's come out to say it was a tough watch and that Fred didn't mean anything by it. So I'm hoping somehow we can get back to where we were, because I thought Nella had a good start in the show. Yes, for some she's, you know, too much. She's, you know, incredibly vivacious. She's, you know, overreacting to stuff, but it makes for good TV. It's kind of like, it's good to have someone in the camp like that, because then you have really calm people as well, and then you get some clashes that can be funny and some clashes that may cause drama. But this clash seemed to be neither. It was just a bizarre attack. And I also didn't really like the way Nella was kind of, I thought, quite a bit rude to Fred, you know, saying, you know, I accept your apology, but we can't be friends, you know. I don't know, I just thought, it doesn't work for me, because he did apologise more than once. He kind of apologised 2 times in a row. And as I said in the video last night, it was a pretty good apology. It was a 10 out of 10 grovelling apology. So let's hope some common ground is reached. Otherwise, it'll just become a rather unpleasant watch. Because I noticed even last night, when she said to him, oh, I'll never eat the food you make again. And then I noticed later on in the programme, sure enough, they were all sitting down eating and she was in the background walking away. So she's obviously sticking to that for the time being, which means she'll get even more hungry unless she prepares her own food, which of course she can do, but will she be able to do it? Will she have access to everything she needs? Will she be able to cook what she wants, which no one can do in the camp? Highly unlikely. But we'll see, we'll see. But yeah, I still don't get it. Yeah, no. Never mind. Have a nice Wednesday.